day moderators, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, fellow students, and ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aisha Yamut School from JS2 in Great Art Academy, and today I stand before you to affirm that fossil oil is a blessing, not a curse to Nigeria. Though challenges exist, let us not ignore the transformative role this resource has played in our nation's development. It has fueled economic growth, empowered energy access, and elevated Nigeria's global stature. Let us not conflate mismanagement with the inherent value of this natural endowment. First of all, what is fossil oil? Fossil oil is a resource that is gotten from deceased plants and animals from decades ago deep down the soil. Let's look at the benefits of fossil oil. Fossil oil is the backbone of Nigeria's economy. For decades, oil and gas have contributed 80% of government revenue and 90% of foreign exchange revenue. This wealth has funded critical infrastructure. The Lekki Deep Seaport, the ABUJA Kaduna Railway, and numerous federal roads were financed by oil revenues. It has supported public services. Oil proceeds subsidize healthcare, education, and social programs. For instance, the Petroleum Industry Act (PIA) allocates 3% of oil profits to host communities for development. It has created jobs. Over 2 million Nigerians work directly or indirectly in the oil sector, sustaining livelihoods across regions. Without fossil oil, Nigeria's economy will lack the capital to build, innovate, or compete globally. Moving on, fossil oil provides 70% of Nigeria's electricity and power industries, homes, and transportation. Natural gas, a cleaner fossil oil, drives 80% of our grid energy. It has enabled industrialization. Factories, tech hubs, SMEs rely on affordable energy to thrive. It has connected communities. Fuel power generators bridge the gaps in rural electrification, powering schools and hospitals. Position Nigeria as Africa's gas leader. Our LNG projects supply global markets, earning billions and reducing energy poverty. Renewables are vital for the future, but fossil oil remains the bridge to a stable energy transition. Furthermore, oil wealth grants its global relevance. As Africa's largest oil producer and an OPEC member, we shape global policies, attract foreign investments, for example, Total Energies and Shell, strengthen diplomatic ties through trade partnerships. Our voice in climate negotiations and economic forums is amplified because of fossil oil. To my opponents, yes, pollution in the Niger Delta is tragic, but this stems from corporate negligence and weak regulation, not the resource itself. With stricter enforcement and green tech, for example, methane capture, we can extract responsibly. Thank you.
Did you know fossil oil is a non-renewable resource which is being used as energy and also as raw materials for various products? Let's move in deeper to discussion. All protocols duly observed. My name is Maya Abdul Ibrahim. I am student from JS2A from Great Art Academy. To begin with, fossil oil's positive footprint on Nigeria. The discovery of fossil oil has indelibly shaped Nigeria's trajectory, and despite the well-documented challenges, it still remains fundamentally a blessing, providing essential foundation for our nation's development. While issues like corruption and environmental concerns are valid and demand attention, that does not mean we should let them overshadow the profound impact fossil oil has had on Nigeria's socio-economic fabric. The most significant blessing fossil oil has had on Nigeria is the immense revenue it has generated to Nigerian states. This income stream has been the primary driver of government expenditure, enabling investments in crucial infrastructural projects such as roads, bridges, and communication networks. Without this financial backbone, Nigeria's progress in these vital roles would have been severely hampered with. Oil revenues have also funded essential public services, including education and healthcare, albeit recognize shortcomings in delivery and their reach. Furthermore, the oil and gas sector has been a substantial employer of labor, both directly within the industries and indirectly through related services. This employment provides livelihood for a significant portion of the population and fuels economic activity across various sectors. The growth of ancillary industries, from logistics to hospitality, has been directly linked to the presence of a thriving oil industry, creating a multiplier effect that benefits numerous communities. Beyond the immediate economic benefits, the oil sector has fostered a technical expertise and a skilled workforce within Nigeria. The demands of this technologically advanced industry have led to the training and education in Nigerian professional fields such as engineering, geology, and management. This human accumulation is also a valuable asset for the nation, contributing not only to the oil sector, but holding a potential for diversification into other areas. Nigeria's position as a major oil producer elevates its geopolitical significance. As a member of the OPEC, Nigeria plays a role in the global energy market, granting it a degree of influence on international affairs and fostering diplomatic relationships with numerous countries. This global standing provides opportunities for Nigeria to advocate for its interests and to contribute to regional stability. To wrap this up, I would like to say that true prosperity will not come from what lies beneath the soil, but what the country chooses to do with its wealth above it. Thank you.
All protocols duly observed. My name is Sabira Shamsuddin. I am a student in JS 2B from Great Heights Academy. Fossil oil has been a major source of government revenue, export earning, and foreign exchange. This has led to the overall infrastructural development, increased employment, and overall economic growth. Here's a more detailed look at the benefits. Revenue generation. Oil exports have become the backbone of the Nigerian economy, providing substantial income for various development purposes. Increased export earning. Nigeria is a major oil producer and exporter, generating significant foreign exchange revenue, which is crucial for the country's economy. Infrastructural developments. Oil revenues have been used to fund various infrastructural projects such as roads, bridges, and power plants. Economic growth. The influx of oil revenues have contributed to the overall economic growth and development in Nigeria, though its impact has been on though its impact has been unevenly distributed. Uses. Source of energy source of fuel such as gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. Production of petrochemicals, lubricants, and plastic. Economic and infrastructural impacts such as revenue, infrastructural development, and energy security in Nigeria. Benefits. Source of energy in Nigeria. Generating heat in Nigeria. Powering vehicles and machinery in Nigeria. In conclusion, fossil oil is a blessing, not a cost to Nigeria. Though it has its negative impacts, we can't forget the positive things we got from the income of exporting fossil oil. Thank you.
In conclusion, fossil oil is not Nigeria's cause, it is our foundation. It has lifted millions from poverty, powered our nation, and granted us global relevance. Let us address governance failure, invest in sustainable practices, and leverage oil wells to build a diversified future. To abandon fossil oil now would be to discard a future, would be to discard a life that is still coming. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, and my fellow students. My name is Prince Onishe, and I am here to oppose the motion that states fossil fuel is a curse and not a blessing. Fossil fuel are a group of energy sources formed from the remains of ancient plants and animals buried deep within the earth millions of years ago. There are three main types of fossil fuel, known as coal, crude oil, and natural gas. The discovery of fossil fuel in 1956 at Oloibiri, Bayelsa State, Nigeria, marks a turning point in the country's economy. Shell made the first commercial discovery, and by 1958, Nigeria began exporting crude oil, establishing itself as a major oil producer. This oil was supposed to be used to improve our country's situation, but the focus on oil has led to the neglect of other crucial sectors like agriculture and manufacturing companies. In those days, we have the Granite Pyramid that can be found at the northern part of Nigeria, the garment company that can also be found at the northern part of Nigeria, the cocoa company that can be found at the southwestern part of Nigeria, and the palm oil extraction company that can be found at the southern part of Nigeria. But now, these companies have become stagnant due to Nigeria's heavy dependence on oil, and these acts have hindered diversification in the country. Furthermore, the oil boom that began in 1973 as a result of the high price of crude oil in the world market made our local currency to appreciate, making manufacturing less competitive and potentially shutting down domestic production. In as much as unemployment can have some severe consequences in society, as our youth engage to other fraudulent acts to get quick money, like Yahoo, rituals, and kidnapping. Like the case of a young youth couple named Salome that was killed by a guy named Timi at Orozo in Abuja, but as a result of unemployment and being eager to get quick money. If I may ask, how many people that are employed and satisfied with their pay can go to other fraudulent acts to get more money? Even our teachers can't do that sort of thing because of they are satisfied with their pay and they have good conduct. Like the protest that happened during the Black Democracy Day was as a result of unemployment and the high cost of living in the society. Resource costs. Despite vast oil wells, many Nigerians still live in poverty. This paradox is often referred to as the resource costs. Burning of fossil fuel can release a significant amount of greenhouse gas, primarily carbon dioxide, which trap heat in the atmosphere, resulting to the rise in global temperatures and causing climate change. Fuel subsidy. With the vast oil flowing through Nigeria, our fuel is supposed to be subsidized, but that is not the case. Now, a liter of oil is approximately 950 naira, making it harder for people with their vehicles to convey themselves to their place of work, and public transportation even much more higher. Corruption and mismanagement. Oil wealth have used systematic corruption, poor governance, and misallocation of public funds, making our country subjectable to underdevelopment, with many abandoned projects like the Ajakuta Steel Company in Kogi State and the Delta State Recycling Companies. Now, these companies have become abandoned due to Nigeria's heavy dependence on oil and the misallocation of public funds in the country. Environmental damage. Oil exploration, especially in the Niger Delta region, has caused a severe environmental degradation affecting health, agriculture, and fishing. This oil has polluted our soil, making it to lose its fertility, now making food scarce and very expensive. Conflict and insecurity. Oil wealth have fueled regional conflict and militancy, especially in oil-producing areas. Nigeria's heavy dependence on oil has caused a severe loss to the country, making transportation higher, corruption, and electricity fluctuation, making it harder for our economy to grow. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Miracle Deobi. In addition to what my partner has said, although my opponent will say it has brought in economic growth, where is this economic growth? Where we are still having bad roads, our roads have become dead traps, scarcity of fuel is everywhere. In any available chance, people are going to steal those fuel that can lead to explosion and create deaths. Doctors and nurses as Japa. Why wounded Japa? Where workers are poorly paid. Most public or civil servants are not able to pay their children's school fees or charges nor own a house. Most lecturers will say, my take-home pay cannot take me home. Many people leave the country to overseas to become dead body cleaners, nannies and gardeners. And the salary they will be earning will also even be more than the salary of a director and permanent secretaries here in Nigeria. If you look at our FCT primary school, since the resumption of the 10th till date, they are still on strike. Furthermore, foreign exchange earning, it has brought in the majority of Nigeria foreign exchange and has brought in economic stability. I will say no. Instead of bringing economic stability, it has brought in economic instability. Nigeria over-reliance on fossil oil revenue has made the economy vulnerable to global price fluctuation. Employment and development. Where is this employment? Where we are still having prostitution and female youth are no longer able to hold their pride and dignity anymore. Now they sell their pride and dignity due to unemployment. Employment and development. Where is the development, if I may ask? Where we are still having bad electrical power supply. Our electrical appliances are no longer in use. If you look at most rural areas, they don't have electricity. Talk more of having or using electrical appliances. If I may ask, was transportation not supposed to be free in Nigeria due to us being the largest oil producers in Africa? But to be frankly speaking, I'm tired of taking to school every day due to the high price of transportation. Global relevance, it has made Nigeria the largest oil producers in Africa, notwithstanding or minding. Where are the benefits to show? If you look outside the shore of Nigeria, the students are being paid. Even the old men and women are also being paid. But in Nigeria, is it so? Even the old men and women are still struggling and struggling. It's a big shame on our own part. Ken Sarara once wrote a poem called Chichidodo, also spelled Chichidodo, that explores the theme of injustice and struggles of the Ogoni people in the terms and face of environmental destruction and political oppression. This poem highlights shame on our own part. Ken Sarara once wrote a poem called Chichidodo, also spelled Chichidodo, that explores the theme of injustice and struggles of the Ogoni people in the terms and face of environmental destruction and political oppression. This poem highlights the Ogoni people's determination to fight for their right and survival, not just to the Ogoni people, but to Nigeria as a whole. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Ada Jesse. However, poor management of oil revenues have diverted funds from development and exacerbated inequalities. Moreover, oil exploration and extraction have caused significant environmental damage, harming the ecosystem and our community. Inasmuch as the global price of oil in Nigeria is highly volatile, making the country's economy vulnerable to sudden revenue fluctuations. My opponents may say oil revenue has funded roads, schools, and standard hospitals. But I want to ask, where are these roads, these good schools, and standard hospitals in Nigeria? If they were standard hospitals, why do rich men and women still take themselves or their relatives or their children out of the country for medical treatment? My opponents may also say oil has brought in foreign direct investments, creating opportunities for technology transfer and global partnerships. But where is this technology transfer in Nigeria? And this is the just completed JAM examinations that still had errors in their computers, or the JAM registrar that cried after taking the blame for having most of the JAM candidates fail their examinations, or the WIAC students that were seizing kanjis and letters to write their exams. In the 774 local government areas and 36 states, including FCT, GDP which the Nigerian government get from this oil is shared, but has seen no development to show. If this oil was not brought in place, they would have not been kidnapping in Nigeria, because out of greed and unemployment, as our youth started hiding foreigners that were working in oil producing companies. demanding for ransom. And they started doing it to their own brothers and sisters demanding for this ransom. And this is how kidnapping started in Nigeria. Our grandparents are yet to be paid their retirement benefit. Teachers are still going on strike. Students are still struggling to school. They are still paying their school fees. And all this is not supposed to be if we have this oil in Nigeria. I hope with these 3 points of mine, I'll be able to convince you that fossil oil is a curse in Nigeria, not a blessing. Thank you.
In conclusion, fossil fuels have turned out to become a curse because of the environmental and health impact. And when I say health, I don't just mean human health. Aquatic animal life are also at risk because of exploitation of crude oil and many done in the ocean, and oil spillage can have some severe consequences to aquatic animal life. Human health can also be in danger because of the greenhouse gases released like chlorofluorocarbons that causes cardiovascular and respiratory disease, adverse pregnancy outcome, neurological disorder, lung cancer, and diabetes. Environmental impacts can also be devastating, like acid rain. Some parts in the Niger Delta region even experience black rain as a result of exploitation and burning of crude oil, tanker explosions like the Suleja and Karo incidents, climate change, and many more. In conclusion, solar energy has taken over. We now have solar cars and bikes, and electricity has become the standard in other countries with dams being built. All this work together to correct the threats posed by fossil fuel and ensure a healthier planet for future generations. Thank you.